Hello people of BookTube, Megan here, and it's time for another review. Today I am going to be talking about The Iron Knight by Julie Kagawa, and this is the fourth book in the Iron Face series. So like I said, this is a review. The original review from way back in the early days of my channel will be somewhere in a card. So in the original review for this, I believe I mentioned this is probably my favorite book in the series. It still is. I don't know why. I absolutely adore Megan and the adventure she went on and just the growth she experienced as a character, but just something about getting a book solely about Ash and Puck that just really drew my interest, drew my attention, and just really stood out to me. I mean, it probably helps that I also very much adore Ash and Puck, and getting to just get a book of them going on this big quest, their banner, their interactions, their just overall friendship with each other. Just, I don't know, just something about that I just really, really loved. Also seeing more of Gremlkin and a few other new additions was really cool, seeing how this ragtag team of Fae tagging along to help Ash on this quest. It was just overall a really great read. So in this book, Ash is determined to find a way to be with Megan, to stay her knight, to be in her life. In the previous book, The Iron Queen, Megan releases Ash of his vow to be her knight, and by the use of his true name, orders him out of the Iron Realm so that he can survive. She thought she was going to be dying, but she didn't want to drag Ash down with her. And despite the fact that she survived, she's still now the Iron Queen. She can't abandon this responsibility of hers, nor can Ash, as a traditional fairy, survive in the Iron Realm. Ash is not satisfied with this and wants to find a way to be with her. So Ash, with Puck tagging along to watch his back, try and find Gremlkin, because if anyone's gonna know a way for a fairy to become mortal, because that's what Ash wants, that's his logic, become human, humans can survive in the Iron Court, he'll be able to be with Megan. If anyone is to know how this can happen, it's gonna be Gremlkin. So yeah, this book is basically Ash, Puck, Grim, and like I said before, a few other characters going on this quest to get Ash a soul so he can become human. And oh my god, what an adventure it is. Like I said, this is still probably my favorite out of the first 4 books so far. Just, it was so nice to get a book from a different point of view, from Ash's point of view, and just get into his head a bit more and just see a little bit more about what was in his past and so forth. It was just a really interesting read, fantastic addition to the series in my opinion, and yeah, without further ado, I am gonna go into a spoilery bit, so if you have not gotten this far in the series yet, highly suggest you click away now and come back after you catch up. Oh my god, where do I want to begin with this? So, I do really like how we get into like the nitty-gritty, or some of the nitty-gritty of Ash's past. I do like how Julie Kagawa didn't shy away from the fact that Ash has done some pretty bad things. Like, he is no saint, and considering that he is Fae, especially Winter Fae, which in many books, if not all books that I've read, tend to be the more vicious of the courts. Not to mention, as a Winter Prince and him constantly competing with Rowan and Sage, it's pretty safe to assume that in his years of life, it's not stated how old Ash is, but just based on some of the flashbacks, he is pretty old. You know, naturally in that time, he's gonna do some not so great things. So it's great that that is addressed. It's not brushed off as if it's nothing. And I love the fact that that's one of the tests for Ash to gain his soul. And the fact that this conscience Ash is given weighs on him so greatly. You know, it takes him a while to adjust to this. And even how he needs that little pep talk from Grimm to get him back on his feet and to continue on with these tests. He isn't immediately like, well, I did some bad things, that sucks, and then moves on. Like, it weighs on him, all the things he's done. He feels genuine guilt, and just, I liked how that was handled. No one's saying you need to forget and move on as if it doesn't happen. Remember them and improve yourself from it. Just, overall, I love that message. So, gonna backtrack a little bit, because I just want to get that out there, because that was one of my favorite things about, Ash getting his soul. I love the fact that we got the big bad wolf. I loved him. I loved him and just his commentary and him and Grimm's little rivalry. It was just great. And just us finding out the fact that Ariella is alive and has been alive almost this whole time. And not only that, she's been the one, working from behind the scenes to make events happen as they had. For Puck to become Megan's guardian while she is unaware of her Fae heritage. Her dad being saved from Titania and her wrath. Having a certain cat napping in a very specific tree on Megan's first day in the Never Never. And just so on and so forth. Her doing what she can to manipulate things so that the Never Never is saved. And just also the fact that her having been alive and then her sacrificing herself so Ash can get his soul. Like that for a few reasons. First reason being, I like the fact that the creation of a soul needs a sacrifice. That it can't simply be whisked up out of nothing. And also, her having been alive and get these last few days or weeks, however long has passed, with Ash and Puck again, giving them closure. I mean, first off, there's that added bonus that since Ariella is alive, and has been alive, the oath that Ash swore to kill Puck to avenge her is moot and point, because she's alive. So now, Ash doesn't have to kill Puck, or be killed by Puck while Puck is defending himself. So I like that. Naturally, a lot of stuff has happened in their years fighting. All that can't be water under the bridge. They've both gone at each other quite viciously. They both said horrible things, done horrible things to each other in those years. That's not gonna go away, but at least, it can stop. It can stop now. At least, when it comes to Ariella and her death. Like I said earlier, I like how we got to get into Ash's head some, to see his thought process more, to see that he genuinely did regret the oath that he swore against Puck in the heat of the moment, that he regretted it, that he really didn't want to kill his former best friend. To get that struggle between them, to see the inner struggle of Ash between his darker, unsilly nature, and him as him. Just, I liked getting that as well. I adored the flashbacks we got, where Ash is meeting Ariella for the first time, where Ariella meets Puck for the first time, and even the darker flashbacks of the horrible things that Ash had done, wooing human girls just to shatter them, killing a grove of draids because they fought off in a winter court night, and just not just hearing, oh yeah, I did these horrible things, but getting examples, getting flashbacks of them. I feel getting those flashbacks really drives home these things happen, these are horrible things, and whatnot. I really like the fact that Julie didn't shy away with showing Ash's darker history. There were quite a few parts in this book that really pulled at my heartstrings and got me emotional. The first being that whole possible future with Megan and Ash near the end, just him and her growing apart because she's never gonna age and he is gonna age and die because he's human. That got at me so bad. When Ariella sacrificed herself to give Ash his soul, I got emotional, especially with Ash begging her not to, that she didn't have to do this. Puck being sad, but letting her go, and just emotions. And then finally when Megan and Ash are reunited. Like, that is when the tears really start to like form and flow, and it's like they're finally together. And since this is a reread for me, I knew what was gonna happen, but those parts still got to me. I was still horrified with like when they're trying to get to the end of the world and they have to fight their darker selves. That got to me. Not like emotion wise, but kind of like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, worrying for them got to me. And just, I really love this book. Like I said, this is probably my favorite out of the series, hands down. And just also I like how we got Puck kind of unveiling how hurt he has been the past how many years since him and Ash have been fighting. He knew a lot of the blame was on him, but he also wasn't just grieving Ariella's death, he was grieving the death of him and Ash's friendship. He didn't just lose Ariella, he lost his best friend as well. And not only that, his best friend wants to kill him now. So yeah, he's been hurting. He doesn't want to fight Ash, but he also doesn't want to die, so he has no choice but to fight back. And just, there's so much about this book I liked. And just, I love this book. I love this series. I love this world that Julie Kagawa has made. I definitely plan to reread and re-review the Call of the Forgotten series, the companion slash spin-off of the Iron Fae. So excited to read that. And also so excited for the new Iron Fae series that I think starts coming out next year. I may be wrong, but I think it is. So excited for that. Like, I am giddy with joy over that. Especially the fact that I believe we're following Puck, which I am all for. I adore Puck, so I'm excited. And yeah, that is it for this book review. For anyone still watching, what do you think? Did you enjoy this addition to the series? Did you dislike it? Are you indifferent to it? What are some parts you liked, didn't like? Are there any parts that I didn't talk about that you liked or didn't like? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. So yeah, that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time.